A really important part of what we do here is foraging. So when we bring guests onto the farm, they get to try some of our food, some of our delicious beef that we rear on the farm, but also the hedgerows are really important. We use as much as we can. We use the blackberries for jams and various things. We also use the elderflower and make yummy cordials and syrups with that people get to try when they're on the farm. Community is very important. We live in a very rural area, but what we do is explain why the Burren and this land is so special. So we bring various groups, so school groups, university groups, people that just want to travel and understand why Ireland is so green and why the landscape here in the Burren particularly is so special. So they come to the farm, they do a walk around the land with us and really engage and understand how important farming for nature is so important from a climate change point of view. So the farm is in the centre of the Burren National Park. Although we're privately owned, we have a massive focus on nature. We're actually farming for nature ambassadors. This is really important. So we don't cut any of the hedgerows, we leave those to grow and we forage from them. But also in that regenerative practice, we leave certain parts of the farm so that we've reintroduced some birds that haven't been nesting here for decades, like the hen harrier and the kestrel. In Ireland there are 30 different species of butterfly and 28 of them can be found here in the Burren. With that, we've got an array of different flora and fauna. So we've got alpine, Arctic and Mediterranean plants and flowers that grow here side by side in the clints and grikes of the rock. The cattle have a really important job. They live in what we call the winterage, so out on the grey rocky land, and through the winter the limestone holds the heat from summer, so they'll live out there and they forage it. So they're actually pruning all that lovely limestone land for us, so in the summer we see this beautiful biodiversity event and all the flowers coming back into bloom in May time. I've done a lot of courses over the last few years. Because my background wasn't in farming, I wanted to really upskill myself. So I'm a conservation ranger. I'm also a leave no trace trainer, so it's very important that when people come to the farm they understand the importance. Simple little things like not picking the flowers and leaving the place a bit better than we found it is a really important message that we try to get across to our visitors. So we spent a winter repurposing this cowshed, so it's a bio really. So when people come, they may be wearing little flip-flops or whatever, we offer them the opportunity to change their boots. We don't use any single-use plastic. So when we make tea, we make it in reusable cups and they reuse the boots that we have here. We do a lot of foraging on the farm. So you can see over here some of our elderflower that we use to make our beautiful cordial. I've done a lot of training, as I mentioned, through the winter time. So I'm a conservation ranger and I'm a leave no trace trainer. So all of these add to your experience when you come to the farm, because as I say to the children, knowledge is power, and the more we can understand about the landscape, the more we can improve it every year by making small changes to what we do. So one of the most recent innovations on the farm is the eddy flux tower that you can see here. It's an extremely cutting edge technology that Teagasc have put on the farm. So really what they want to do is measure the amount of carbon that the land is emitting versus the carbon that it's absorbing. And this tower is the future in that analysing of that data. We're the only one in County Clare. It's really important because, as we know, the Burren is a very biodiverse landscape, and this is really key into understanding that landscape more. It's proof of how our regenerative practices are actually working in place.